The first part of this week was spent with my family. We visited the school orchard for a little harvest. Strawberry runners and blackberries, which I picked with Ayla, my niece. And I think we're going to help out with these beans next. The more beans you pick, the more will come. They're massive. We picked green beans for our freezer, blackberries to munch on, rhubarb, and a few little strawberries. I also picked a few stray strawberry runners, which I'll be transplanting to grow some more plants. I'm not sure if it's still going to work without the mother plant, but I'm willing to try. Bit of the drier compost on top. Okay. Our baby chicks are now pullets and are taking over the homestead. While they're busy scratching and foraging for bugs in the orchard, our bees are also keeping busy. Last week I moved their honey super to the top so I can harvest some more of their honey today. For me, this is always the hardest part. The bees are so much calmer during this week's inspection. They have plenty to do, plenty to build and fill, and harvesting their honey was a breeze. All of these frames are completely full and are so heavy. I'm really looking forward to emptying them and returning the box to the queen so she can lay more healthy brood. Summer has been a bit unpredictable and the weather all over the place. But as the soil temperatures go up, the summer harvests begin. At the moment, it is mainly zucchini and beetroot that we are harvesting. I always pick them wrong. Yeah, that's a good size. Good morning. It has been a while since I have talked to you all. It has been really busy around here with the festive season and having our family over, but I'm super excited to get back into the garden, looking after all of the creatures of the homestead, all of them, and also showing you around the garden, how things are changing, how things are growing. At the moment though, my garden is feeling pretty sad. A lot of the nutrients has either been washed away or dried out by the sun, regardless of my efforts. And I think it's just that time of the season where you need to be replenishing the nutrients in your soils. So I'll give you a bit of a tour around my gardens and I'll show you guys what is growing and what is happening, and then also show you guys the not so good. So I'll start here. These are my tomato plants. This is most of them, but there is also tomatoes scattered just about everywhere this season. And they are finally starting to produce some fruit. They're finally starting to get to a mature size. And this took quite a while. I mean, it's quite late in the season if you ask me, especially because a lot of these I planted maybe early spring, mid-spring. So glad to finally see them doing something. And they're all looking super healthy. I'll be going through today finding any suckers that I can. In here. I'm just gonna pinch off any suckers like this and transplant them out so I get even more tomatoes. Whether I plant them here or I plant them in one of the other beds, I guess I'll see. I have already been experimenting with putting suckers straight into the ground. And I'm not sure that they're taking, especially because my chickens are getting into my gardens and destroying everything. So I'm actually going to root these first and then protect them a little bit better before I put them into the ground. Okay, so I'll leave that one there for when we've got a moment, and we'll come around and pinch all the suckers and get rid of a lot of the weeds. I've had this thing with the weeds where I throw them onto the pathways and then I cover this with wood chips, but I'm finding that certain weeds are still regrowing. So what I'll do is actually put some cardboard down and some serious mulch so that that's not happening. The peanut plants are doing really well. I actually saw some of them flower not long ago. I can't remember which ones. They had these beautiful orange flowers, which was very pretty. Another thing that's been going really well in the garden are the potatoes. And I've actually started to harvest a lot of them, especially because some have started to go green as they're rising above the surface of the ground. There you go, you can see there. So I'm going to come through and harvest a lot of those, and then be able to transplant something in here after. Beetroots are also pretty much done. I've started harvesting some of them. I have carrots that have gone to seed. My leek has also started going to flower and then will go to seed, so that's really good. We want that to happen. Cucumbers, some have taken off. Others have not. You can see that the chickens have been digging here, which is really frustrating. Weeds taking over. This is insane. More tomatoes. I've been harvesting lots of beans as well, but I've started to now let these ones kind of go to seed so that I can harvest them for dry beans. So there's a few plants like that around. More tomatoes, more tomatoes, more beans. I think this, you guys, is a kohlrabi, so not sure how it's doing or whether it's good, but it's there. This part of the garden is probably doing the best. So over here I've got pumpkins, I've got zucchinis, I've got cucumbers and corn, and the zucchini's been going wild. I'm going to show you guys my harvest from just a couple of days of being away camping, just how much we got. Today I'm finally going to share my zucchini. It's a healthy zucchini brownies recipe, and I know that you guys have been asking for a while to see this recipe. So anyways, lots of zucchinis. Cucumbers are starting to come up. There's actually one little one here, but I'm waiting for a few more before I pick them. Okay, and you can see there's so many more yet to come, and over there too, it's just finally taking off and doing something. The corn's starting to take off slowly. There's little ones popping up here and there. Pumpkin is doing really well. I'm probably going to encourage it to go out more. There's another pumpkin here. And there are some pumpkins planted here. These are gamma pumpkin seeds, which were given to me, and I'm really excited to see them grow, but they do need a bit of nutrients. Billy buttons, how cute. It looks like my ginger plant has a lot of new flowers coming in at the moment as well. All of these are going to be flowers, so I'll be able to show you those very soon. I'm still not sure when I'm supposed to harvest it though. It's looking a bit wild in there, but yep. I think these are zucchini plants perhaps, or something. You can definitely tell this garden needs love. It has lots of weeds, so a whippersnipper is going to be necessary. It needs lots of mulch and nutrients, a nice big top up of it, and then probably a good harvest and some new plants put in when the soil's ready. But whippersnippering, yeah, is going to be necessary. Now I reckon let's get some of these potatoes while we're here. Oh wow, oh my god, these are massive. I think that's the rotting one, so we don't want to get that. All of these, beautiful. Put it back there for now. So see, some of them have started going green, which is not good. Look at this one. What are you? Oh my god. Wow. That's a good one too. The soil's really nice here at least. Nice and loose after potatoes. I like to drop any plant matter back on the soil to return the nutrients that the plant has taken up in growing the fruit or the vegetable. I put my garden down quite a bit, but actually it's not so bad. I'm picking marigolds and using them instead of calendula flowers in my balms. Since marigolds grow so well on our homestead, I might as well use their healing properties on our skin. If you get itchy skin or get burnt often or even have acne or any kind of skin irritations, calendula balm or marigold balm with a bit of lavender in it is the perfect thing for you. We have absolutely loved ours and will not be using anything else. Oh, sorry. Today's harvest was quite good. I didn't expect it. I also harvested the last of our bulbs in my garden beds so that I can store them in time for autumn. These are the ranunculus and also the iris flowers. Alright, let's make these healthy brownies now. First, grate a medium zucchini and squeeze out as much of the juice as you can. Add 1 egg, half a teaspoon of salt and baking soda, half a cup of cocoa powder, 2 tablespoons of flour. Do you know where my honey harvesting stuff is?
I haven't touched it.
Like I've literally looked everywhere and I can't find it. And it's got my uncapping stuff and then like the actual bucket to put it into. A splash of vanilla essence, a 1/4 cup of maple syrup, seeds of choice. I went with chia, linseed and ground wattle and also some coconut flakes as that's what I had. Add half a cup of honey, mix it all together and add some chocolate chips, homemade if you can spare some.
So now it's being used at the table.
Oh.
Because it was the closest bucket to the door. But everything's in there.
Thank you.
It's over there.
It's all good. I thought I was going crazy. I'm like, literally I have looked everywhere that I could possibly put it.
Well, we got there in the end.
And bake at 170 degrees until it's set. Now that my brownies are done and the harvesting equipment has been found, we can uncap this honey together. Oh my god. Wow. Fully capped. I like using a scraping fork to uncap. You can also use a heated knife, but for me this is just easier. Make sure you do both sides and then place it into the extractor. I'm lucky enough to have this one from the local beekeeping club, which is automatic and makes the whole process even easier, but it's not necessary if you can't access this. It cost me $13.50 every time I borrow it from the club. Oh my god, so much honey. Each frame is so heavy. Any honey still left in the frames will easily be cleaned up by the bees, and any repair that needs to be made will be done. Oh my god. I should have chosen the other hand. Still got a bit of honey in it. I never do a great job. It'll be easier just to put. The machine started running really slow and I was wondering why. It's full of honey and so can't move in the stickiness. So I've had to open the floodgate and my honey drain. A few weeks ago I made mead with some scrap honey that I had, and now 5 weeks later the bubbling and the first round of fermentation has stopped, so I can sift out the yeast and let it clear in the fridge. This is my first batch, so I am no expert, but I'm just showing you the process of my learning. I uploaded a video to our Patreon page of my first taste test and thoughts. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you next week.